So we're on the Armour Home stand and I'm with Ashley. Now Ashley, you want to talk about a new product for Armour, which is the Systemline. So maybe you can just explain it for us.
Of course, yeah. We're pleased to introduce Systemline S6 at the show for the second time, but very importantly, we're introducing some new control options. We've actually been manufacturing Systemline S6 now for 21 years, or Systemline as a brand for 21 years. S6 has only been on the market for 8 to 9 months, and what we're promoting here is the ability to control some new source devices on our touchscreen panels. The first of which is Sky Digital. Within Systemline, our ethos is very simple. It's about easy user interface, the ability to control the system and the sources very simply. So, as a quick example, this is the colour touchscreen that is available for use within Systemline S6 or modular. And here I'm showing the control of Sky Digital very simply by selecting the source device that I'm actually going to be watching, and the ability to change the channel by simply hitting an icon on the screen, and then the colour touchscreen displays the channel we're watching and the information that will be displayed on the info bar at the bottom of your television screen normally with Sky Digital. Very comprehensive, but as I said, also very simple, very easy for the user. Other devices we're able to control include lighting. As you can see, we have a number of icons on there that very simply allow us to change the lighting scene within the room that we're in. Again, keeping it as simple and as easy for the consumer as is possible. And we're able in this instance to also show the change of coloured lighting as well. Okay? Finally,
if I can just jump in there, Ashley.
Yeah, of course.
This looks fascinating, but how easy is it to install for an end user? Is it something that they're going to have to get a dealer in to do, or is it something they can do on their own?
Absolutely. Well, Systemline's been on the market, as I said, for over 20 years, but throughout its entire life, we've always recommended the installation by a trained installer. Over 20 years, as you can imagine, we've built up a large database of installers with not just nationwide coverage, but coverage throughout all of Europe, parts of Africa, the Middle East, even Russia as well. So it's certainly to be installed by a qualified, trained installer who will put the icons and the sources on your touchscreen and give you a simple, quick guide as to how the system works and what it's capable of.
So that's quite a nifty function there that you had with Sky. So what's the actual interface that's going on there? How is it picking that information up?
The control of the Sky Digital box is achieved through infrared. It's exactly the same as if you were sat in front of the Sky box with your remote control. But importantly, we're actually able to take information out of the Sky box using a serial interface, a method of communication you would typically see on a computer, and that is what allows you to present that information on the touchscreen for the client to see, read, and of course to actually touch and select the channel in the first place.
Now you've got the touchscreen on the wall there, but I take it this is portable and the end user can take it wherever they like in the house?
No, they can't, no. The touchscreen itself is wall mounted, right, but external control devices are available, like the Nevo S70, which we're going to see in just a moment. You mentioned earlier, Phil, about installers and whether consumers are able to install products themselves. What we've got here is an example of the programming software some of those installers need to use to make this system work in your home. In this particular instance, we're actually looking at the Nevo programming software. The Nevo, of course, we're going to see in just a moment. The Nevo programming software is called Nevo Studio Pro, and this is a design software, but also a programming software. It allows the installer to select which devices your remote control, and a similar piece of software for Systemline. It selects the devices that you're actually going to be controlling within the home. As a quick example of something that the software is used for, just to change the appearance of your remote control, is the ability to change the graphics on the touchscreen device by doing so. A little bit more complex, but then there's a list and a range of devices that the Nevo can actually work with and control over a manner of communication methods, and this software is also used to set those within the remote as well. A few moments ago we were talking about handheld control when we were talking about the Systemline product. This is an excellent example of current technology or emerging technology into the marketplace. This is the Nevo S70, manufactured by Universal Electronics, who also own brands like One for All, so they're very large in the remote control marketplace. The Nevo S70 employs several new technologies which consumers won't be used to in the palm of their hand. This device is a standard infrared remote control, but it also employs a technology called Z-Wave, which allows communication with base stations over a network very similar to a radio frequency, so it works through walls. It also also is a built-in Wi-Fi device, so it sits on your home network. Because of that, it's able to bring new features into the device. As an example, the ability to view CCTV pictures from around the home. This is an example of an area on our stand at this trade show at CEDIA. I'm very swiftly able to bring the image from the camera up onto the screen, so realistically now, people are able to turn the television set off or mute the television while they look at who's at the front door because the doorbell has just rung. This is only a very small element of what the Nevo is capable of doing. The S70, because of its Wi-Fi capabilities, is also able to browse the internet and show features like the ability to look at weather, for example, or to look at traditional internet web pages and browse as if you were using a traditional handheld device or computer. Z-Wave is also a separate technology which is similar to RF, but a fundamental difference is the fact that it's a two-way method of communication. So if, for example, I was to mute my television because I've heard the doorbell, if for some reason the signal isn't received by the receiver, which actually emits the infrared code, it will tell the Nevo that it hasn't been received, and the Nevo will send the code again, just giving you a bit more peace of mind with the traditional wireless doubters maybe, that the technology is now here for you to have comprehensive control of multiple devices in the palm of your hand.
Now Ashley, how does this interface with the first product that we saw, which was the Systemline?
Very simply indeed. One of the products we have within the Systemline range is the Systemline Music Server, which is a storage device for all of your music content, which can be displayed on your touchscreen keypad. The Nevo, via infrared, can quite simply turn the system on from the palm of your hand. But likewise, you can actually use the Wi-Fi capabilities of the Nevo S70 to browse the content of hard drive devices within the system. And what I'm actually looking at here is the hard drive content of the music server, but in the palm of my hand. So I can browse by album, artist, genre or playlist from the palm of, from the chair that I'm sat in, and effect the changes to the music live without ever needing to leave the comfort of my own chair.
Well, it wouldn't be right to come onto the Armour Home stand and not speak to Steve Reichert. How are you, Steve?
I'm very well, Phil. Good to see you again, as always.
And you said, Phil, you've got to come and have a look at this because it's a bit unique. So just tell our viewers what it is.
Well, firstly, you've been talking to my colleague Ashley about some of the most high-tech things here at the show. Here we have the most basic low-tech thing at the show, but also, I think, a solution to a problem a lot of people have, which is how to mount a good, big, large flat-screen TV in the corner of a room. A lot of, in the past, people have put them on just sort of swing-out arms, but that tends to be, frankly, can be potentially dodgy. And also, it has a problem, it doesn't always cover uneven corners. Our installers have asked us to find a solution to how to put a large screen across the corner of the room, and here it is. It's a Cinemax Pro bracket. It comes in two different versions. We're going to have one with an optional extra down poles with shelves, or just the universal bracket itself, and it goes across two sides of the corner and still has some swing motion on it. But the unique part about it fits anything from 32 up to 50-inch TVs. But beyond that, and I'll just show you this, a little bit of a brochure we have here for it, is it goes across uneven corners, so any sort of variation that we've got on the corner of the room. And what you have, the arms themselves, the two arms on the back, are extendable, so you can adjust them until you can line up correctly with the studs to make it secure. Any fix, anywhere, obtuse, acute corners, uneven corners, different brickwork, Bob's your uncle, and it fits perfectly.
Well, it looks like a fascinating product. Thanks for taking the time to quickly tell us about it.
Very much our pleasure.
Cheers, Steve.
Phil, pretty great to see you.